Stop. Listen closely. A silent weight presses on countless hearts right now. An unseen wall stands between effort and reward. Progress feels slow. Energy feels trapped. Dreams feel distant. Yet beneath this stillness, movement already begins. Today carries a rare vibration. A moment when hidden chains can loosen. A moment when life starts to shift in ways logic cannot easily explain. Across years of deep training and inner discipline, one truth becomes clear. Prosperity never stays blocked forever. Barriers often rise from fear, old wounds, limiting beliefs, and the quiet voice that says growth belongs to others. This message arrives for those standing on the edge of change. Within this video, powerful insights will unfold. Signs that reveal when a breakthrough approaches. Simple inner shifts that release resistance. Practical ways to align thought, action, and purpose so abundance can finally flow again. Many seekers chase miracles in distant places, forgetting that transformation begins within awareness. Real freedom grows from clarity. Real prosperity rises from courage. Real miracles emerge when the mind becomes unbreakable. Stay until the end, because a lesser-known truth will be revealed. The exact moment prosperity begins rarely looks dramatic. It often arrives quietly, disguised as a small decision, a sudden realization, or a door that once seemed permanently closed. Warm gratitude for choosing growth today. Welcome to our channel, Unbreakable Mindset, a space devoted to strength, wisdom, and inner awakening. Subscribe now and walk this powerful path together toward the life meant for your spirit. Look deeper. The greatest obstacles rarely stand in front of the eyes. They live quietly inside the mind. Many people believe prosperity stops because of empty wallets, missed chances, or a difficult economy. Yet the real barriers often remain invisible, shaping decisions long before action even begins. Fear moves silently. It whispers warnings about failure. It paints pictures of embarrassment, loss, and rejection. A single fearful thought can freeze bold ideas before they even take their first step. Dreams shrink, effort weakens. Potential waits in the shadows, untouched. Doubt follows closely behind. It questions every ability. It turns small mistakes into proof that success belongs to someone else. Over time, doubt becomes a habit, a voice repeating the same quiet sentence: not ready, not strong enough, not meant for this. While others move forward, the doubting mind keeps standing at the starting line. Past disappointments also build invisible walls. A failed attempt, a broken trust, a lost opportunity. These memories carry emotional weight. Without awareness, they begin to shape the future. New chances appear, yet the heart remembers old pain and chooses safety instead of growth. Movement slows, confidence fades, then come the negative words spoken by others. Sometimes from strangers, sometimes from those closest. Too risky, too late, too unrealistic. These phrases sink deep into the subconscious. Years later, they still echo during important moments. Many people unknowingly live inside limits that were never truly their own. Prosperity requires more than effort. It asks for inner space. Space where courage replaces fear. Space where belief grows stronger than doubt. Space where past wounds stop defining new possibilities. When these unseen chains loosen, energy begins to flow differently. Ideas feel lighter, decisions feel clearer, steps feel stronger, and slowly the path that once seemed blocked starts revealing openings that were always there, waiting to be seen. Stay steady. Progress does not always move at the speed the heart desires. Many journeys toward prosperity pass through long seasons of waiting. Effort is given every day, energy is invested, time is sacrificed. Yet visible results remain distant, almost as though life is quietly observing, measuring readiness before opening the next door. Hard work alone can feel heavy during these moments. Early mornings, late nights, continuous striving with little recognitions. Some begin to question their direction. Others start comparing their path with those who seem to rise faster. This comparison slowly drains motivation, creating the illusion that effort is being ignored by the universe itself. Prayer becomes a source of comfort for many seekers. Silent conversations with hope. Requests whispered into stillness, the desire for guidance, for relief, for a sign that persistence carries meaning. Even in deep faith, patience is tested. Days turn into months, plans change, opportunities appear close, then slip away. It feels like standing at the edge of a breakthrough that refuses to arrive. Case, hope continues to flicker, though sometimes very softly. People keep moving forward not because certainty exists, but because something within refuses to give up completely. This quiet determination becomes a hidden strength. Each step taken during uncertainty builds resilience that sudden success alone could never create. Life often delays visible rewards to shape inner stability. Growth that lasts requires endurance. Prosperity that remains requires wisdom. During these waiting periods, skills sharpen, awareness deepens, emotional strength expands. While nothing dramatic seems to happen on the surface, powerful transformation unfolds beneath it. Delays can feel like rejection. They can feel like closed doors. Yet many breakthroughs arrive only after the mind learns to remain calm inside uncertainty. Timing plays its own mysterious role. Moments align, conditions shift, new possibilities rise from places that once looked empty, and gradually, the path begins to respond to the patience that refused to disappear. Feel the change. Life never remains frozen forever. Just like nature moves from winter into spring, human experience also flows through seasons of stillness and seasons of sudden movement. One phase teaches endurance, another awakens expansion. During certain moments, something subtle begins to shift deep within awareness, almost like a quiet signal that a new chapter is preparing to unfold. At first, the signs feel small. A fresh idea appears out of nowhere. A solution forms in the mind while walking, resting, or simply breathing in silence. Thoughts that once felt heavy now begin to carry lightness. Possibilities that seemed unrealistic suddenly feel reachable. Creativity starts knocking again, inviting action where hesitation once ruled. Motivation slowly returns, not as loud excitement, but as steady inner fire. Tasks feel less forced. Energy rises earlier in the day. Focus becomes clearer. The same path that once looked exhausting now feels meaningful again. This renewed drive often surprises people because it arrives after long periods of doubt and emotional fatigue. Unexpected opportunities also begin to surface. A conversation leads to a new connection. A message arrives at the perfect moment. A chance appears that was never part of the original plan. These events may look random on the outside, yet they often align with inner readiness that has been developing quietly for a long time. Life responds differently when perception shifts. Awareness sharpens, timing improves, courage grows stronger than fear. Even small steps start creating visible momentum. Doors that once stayed closed begin to loosen. Windows that were ignored suddenly reveal new directions. These early movements rarely feel dramatic. They feel natural, gentle, almost ordinary. Yet within them lives powerful potential. The beginning of transformation often whispers before it ever announces itself, guiding those who remain attentive toward the breakthrough that has been patiently finding its way forward. Notice the signals. Before great change becomes visible, life often sends quiet messages to those who stay aware. These signals rarely arrive with noise or celebration. They appear softly, almost like gentle taps on the door of perception. Many overlook them because they seem too simple to matter. Yet within these moments, powerful movement begins. A strong inner feeling can rise without clear reason. A calm certainty that something positive is approaching. Even during challenges, a strange sense of reassurance begins to grow. This feeling does not shout. It does not demand attention. It simply stays present, guiding thoughts toward hope instead of fear. Such intuition often marks the mind preparing to step into a new reality. Sudden clarity may also appear after long confusion. Decisions that once felt complicated start becoming obvious. The next step reveals itself with surprising ease. Doubt loses its grip. Focus sharpens. Energy aligns with purpose. Many breakthroughs begin the very moment direction becomes clear within the heart. Encounters with inspiring people can shift everything. A single conversation can awaken forgotten ambition. Someone's story can mirror hidden potential. These connections feel meaningful beyond logic, as though timing itself arranged the meeting. New paths begin to form through relationships that were never expected. Then come the openings. Opportunities that were previously blocked begin to respond differently. Invitations appear, responses arrive faster, situations that once resisted progress start cooperating. The same effort now creates stronger results. It feels like pushing against a door that suddenly moves with less force. These experiences may look ordinary to the outside world, No dramatic announcement, no instant transformation, yet inside these small shifts lies profound significance. Each signal acts like a quiet confirmation that movement is already happening, guiding the journey toward a moment where change becomes impossible to ignore. Let it fall. The past often sits quietly on the shoulders, heavier than it first appears. Memories of failure, moments of rejection, dreams that once collapsed without warning, all of these can follow a person for years. Not as clear pictures, but as silent tension inside the mind. Moving forward becomes difficult when yesterday still whispers with authority. Old pain drains energy in ways many never notice. Each time the mind replays disappointment, strength is slowly pulled away from the present moment. Tasks feel harder. Motivation feels weaker. Even simple opportunities begin to look exhausting. Energy that could build new success gets trapped in revisiting what can no longer be changed. Creativity also becomes blocked under the weight of regret. Fresh ideas struggle to grow in a space crowded by fear of repeating past mistakes. The imagination begins to protect instead of explore. Safe choices replace bold vision. Innovation fades, yet prosperity often requires new thinking, new approaches, new courage to step beyond familiar limits. Belief suffers quietly as well. After enough setbacks, confidence can shrink without anyone realizing. A person may still try, still work, still hope, but deep inside, a quiet doubt continues, asking whether success truly belongs to them. This invisible question influences decisions, shaping outcomes before action even begins. Freedom starts when awareness chooses release. Not forgetting lessons, but loosening emotional attachment to outcomes that already passed. Forgiveness becomes strength, acceptance becomes clarity. The heart gains space to breathe again. As the grip of the past softens, perception changes. Possibilities feel closer, effort feels meaningful again. New chances are no longer judged through old wounds. The future begins to stand on its own, no longer controlled by shadows behind it. In this lighter state, prosperity finds room to enter, guided by a mind ready to move without fear of yesterday. Shift the mind. Everything begins there. Long before opportunities become visible in the outer world, they are either welcomed or rejected within inner expectation. Thoughts act like silent instructions, shaping attention, influencing decisions, guiding behavior in ways that feel natural but carry powerful consequences. When failure is expected, perception becomes narrow. The eyes focus more on risk than reward. Invitations look suspicious. New paths seem unsafe. Even supportive words can be interpreted as pressure instead of encouragement. Many chances pass by quietly, not because they were absent, but because belief was not ready to recognize them. Expectation also affects action. A doubtful mind hesitates. It delays responses. It overthinks simple steps. While others move forward with imperfect confidence, the hesitant heart remains stuck in analysis. Time continues moving. Windows close. Regret slowly replaces possibility. Yet something remarkable happens. The moment belief begins to return, awareness expands. Ideas that once seemed unrealistic start feeling worth exploring. Conversations become more engaging. Curiosity replaces fear. The same environment suddenly appears richer with potential. Belief encourages movement. Small risks feel acceptable. Attempts feel meaningful rather than threatening. Effort becomes energized by purpose instead of burdened by uncertainty. With action comes momentum. With momentum comes visibility. Others begin to notice determination. Opportunities start responding to this new signal. New chances often gather around those who trust their own growth, not through magic but through alignment. A confident presence invites collaboration. A hopeful mindset attracts solutions. Even setbacks become lessons instead of final verdicts. Doubt, on the other hand, quietly closes doors before hands even reach the handle. It convinces the mind to turn away from rooms filled with possibility. Belief keeps walking, belief keeps knocking, and somewhere along the path, a door that once seemed permanently locked begins to open with surprising ease. Begin moving. Change rarely appears as a sudden explosion. Most miracles arrive quietly, through small, deliberate steps taken with courage and attention. Each tiny action sets invisible forces in motion. Momentum begins where hesitation once stood. A single brave step forward can shift everything. Standing in uncertainty, choosing action over fear, sends a message to life itself. Readiness has arrived. That first movement may feel minor, almost insignificant, yet it breaks the inertia that held energy trapped. Courage always multiplies quietly when it is applied. Saying yes to a new idea opens doors that old routines cannot reach. Opportunities often hide in unfamiliar directions. Simple acceptance of a possibility, even one that feels slightly risky, signals openness. Minds start noticing options previously overlooked. Connections form, inspiration grows. Ideas that once seemed distant begin to take shape. Reaching out to someone can ignite unexpected pathways. A conversation, a question, or even a message of curiosity can become the seed of new opportunity. People often underestimate the power of connection. One small reach can ripple outward, creating responses that align with intention. Trying again after failure is equally transformative. Every attempt builds understanding, resilience, and clarity. Each failure no longer represents an ending but becomes evidence that the path is real and evolving. Momentum grows in the repetition of persistent, focused effort. Small actions are invisible at first, yet they accumulate. One decision leads to another. One step leads to a series of steps. Doors that seemed immovable begin to shift. Energy starts flowing in directions previously blocked. Life responds to consistent, mindful action, even when the results are not immediately visible. Miracles, in truth, are often the product of attention, courage, and persistence. What looks like chance on the surface is often the natural consequence of small, deliberate movements made with faith and clarity. Each tiny act builds toward the moment when everything aligns and change becomes undeniable. Patience holds the secret. For weeks, months, even years, effort can feel invisible. Progress seems slow, doors remain closed. The mind wonders if anything is truly changing at all. Yet beneath the surface, energy is accumulating. Experience, skill, resilience, and clarity are quietly aligning. Growth is happening in ways unseen, preparing for a moment that can arrive without warning. Suddenly, everything shifts. What felt stagnant bursts into motion. A call arrives, an opportunity presents itself, a new direction appears that was impossible to foresee. The same environment, the same circumstances now respond differently to action and intention. Momentum that seemed stalled now surges forward effortlessly. A new job appears. Not because it was guaranteed, but because readiness met opportunity at the perfect moment. Effort and belief, long invested, finally find expression in circumstances that honor persistence. A project, a connection, a creative pursuit, anything nurtured quietly in the background now shows its full potential. A new opportunity may come disguised as coincidence, a casual conversation, a message, an unexpected invitation. What once seemed ordinary suddenly becomes extraordinary. Timing, patience, and attention converge. The door that refused to open before now swings wide with ease. A new direction emerges. Life reorganizes itself in subtle but profound ways. Paths that appeared blocked start moving with clarity and purpose. Decisions that once felt heavy become intuitive. Confidence returns naturally. What was invisible now becomes visible. Delays, though frustrating, were not failures. They were preparation. They allowed understanding to deepen, resilience to strengthen, and belief to mature. The sudden breakthrough is not random. It is the natural outcome of invisible forces aligning, of readiness meeting opportunity, and of action finally being recognized by the flow of life itself. Today carries power. Today may feel ordinary at first, yet beneath its quiet surface the energy for change can already be moving. One simple thought can spark a cascade. One unexpected opportunity can shift direction. One choice made with clarity and courage can become the beginning of something entirely new. A new thought may arrive suddenly, as if whispered by life itself. It feels different from ordinary ideas. It feels lighter, clearer, filled with possibility. It asks attention, not resistance. Listen to it, follow it, let it guide the next step forward. Sometimes the smallest insight carries the weight of transformation.